Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call now, 850-583-0814.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Ad paid for by RFA Cancellation. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number. Call 800-591-5167. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-591-5167. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-591-5167. That's 800-591-5167. Again, 800-591-5167.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Hartz Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable buildings. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of Sports Talk Radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
Redeem first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. It is Wednesday, February 26th, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
February 26th, the last Wednesday in the month of February. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. Jay is back. It's been like 6 years, it feels like, since he's been on the show with us. Of course, DJ Davey Crockett behind the glass, and I, Ryan Mulvey, back here with The Inside Drive. Looking forward to catching up on all the sports we've missed over the last few weeks. But hopefully you're tuned in on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, and all of our amazing surrounding areas. 101.9 down there along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. And it's been beautiful out there this week, Jay Henley. I know you've been probably teaching some of the people out there the beautiful game of golf.
Yes,
and
sir.
been busy on a lesson tee out there?
I have indeed.
Yeah, so have you been taking your allergy medication?
Yeah.
Because the pollen is, the good weather brings that yellow pollen, unfortunately.
That's
and
right.
It's, one of those things.
Yeah.
One of those things. But yes, we are back. You can also download the free mobile app for ESPN Northwest Florida. Where, Jay?
Let me think about it, Ryan.
I know it's been a while.
Google Play or Apple Store?
Google Play or Apple Store? Yes, you can find it there. All you got to do is search 104.3. It'll pop up. Download that free mobile app. You can take us anywhere that you have cell phone service. Again, all you do is open it up. Lots of contests in there as well, but all you got to do is click that play button, and you'll have streaming ESPN Northwest Florida wherever you would like to go. And, of course, social media, we are live streaming daily on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All you got to do is search up ESPN Northwest Florida. Like, subscribe, follow. We appreciate if you share those live shows as well. The more people we can touch, hopefully we feel the more impact we can certainly make. So, again, make sure you share those shows for us. We appreciate it very much. And, of course, you can head over to ESPNPC.com. You can indeed listen live there as well. But also, you can enter a lot of contests on there, and you can also sign up for Lucid Streams TV, which is by far the cheapest streaming service available on the market right now. Everybody just keeps going up, Jay.
That's right.
They keep going up. But Lucid Streams TV is a mere I think it's $41.99 a month, and that's like $240 a year, Jay.
Can't find a steak that
no
cheap,
or a chicken.
Yeah, no kidding. Or chicken, yeah, or eggs.
Yeah, or eggs, yeah. But you have to have a chicken to have eggs.
That's right.
You have to have a rooster to have eggs, too.
Uh-huh.
Last time I checked, anyway.
Right.
Haven't done any fertilization projects recently. But maybe I should. Maybe I should get a few chickens.
Yeah.
Probably save me some cash money. No doubt about that.
That's right.
Eggs are good, though.
They are.
You know who promised that they won't be increasing their prices?
Who's that?
McDonald's.
Well, good for
you know why?
Why?
Because McDonald's eggs aren't real.
Oh, man.
Did I just burst your bubble?
Well, I mean, they're fake eggs. How do you fake an egg?
Fake it till you make it. I mean, most places that have these egg sandwiches that are fast food, they're just some kind of artificial egg.
Yeah.
But the bird flu doesn't touch the artificial egg, so should be good there.
Right.
Should be good there. How are you doing?
Doing good. I mean, it's been a good break, I guess, if you want to call it a break.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
A few weeks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, you took a little hiatus prior to me going under the knife again, and then you got a few more days off in that. So
doing good, but what about you, Ryan?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Glad to be back on the air, and obviously got to give a huge shout out to all the love and support that myself, my family, everybody's been getting. I mean, it truly does, you know, when you're kind of just thinking about everything that's going on and you can read some nice comments, some nice text, and all the people that reach out, it really does go a lot longer than a lot further than people realize, because, you know, sometimes your mind will get in your way, and you know, just the beautiful county we live in here is just it rallies around a lot of people, and appreciate everybody rallying around us, and hopefully I won't have to do this again anytime soon, because twice in 387 days is really not a lot of fun.
Right.
You know, I'm looking forward to having to get the staples out again.
Yeah.
You know, I think Dr. Peden told me there might be a little more in there this time.
Okay.
So I don't know why. It should have been the same amount, you would think, right?
Yeah, you would think. How many staples are up there?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I haven't counted.
Gotcha.
I should.
Seems like a job for Jay.
I knew that was about to happen.
Could you take the staples out?
Could I?
Yeah.
Man, are you kidding me?
I wouldn't want you to.
No.
I'm just saying, could you stomach that?
My hands aren't even steady over a 3-foot putt, so you would not want. You would not
The
want
interesting thing with staples is, as I talk about them, they're getting a little itchy, but is like there's a thing that, like, when you pull them out, it like crimps them, so they like pop out and then they come out.
Oh.
So you're not just ripping. It's not like you put staples into a cork board or a board and you're pulling them out.
Right.
They're designed to come out somewhat easy. But
Yeah.
I made Liam go in there with me last time, and he had to kind of, because whenever Liam's there or Ryan, I have a tendency to be a little tougher than I probably would by myself.
Yeah.
So I try to get them to help me out with that situation.
When do the staples come out?
Hopefully a week from today.
Okay.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
gotcha.
I'm 1 week in. Got 3 more weeks of not lifting more than 10 pounds and trying to take it easy. And then I can resume normal activities after 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, having lots of fun. And, of course, big shout out to my beautiful bride, Beth, who's obviously been my ride or die and been by my side, helping me out so much. She has had to drive me around a little bit. I did drive to the studio today. I did not take any pain medicine today, Jay. So, you know, that pain medicine, you're not supposed to drive with it.
That's right.
I know you like to just drive around, popping pain pills all day long, but I know you got a lot of back pain and all that stuff. So.
I do have a lot of pain.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, I got some if you need some.
Popping pain pills till chilling in dog parks.
That's right. Speaking of that, you've got a little, obviously everybody in Bay County knows the big incident, and thoughts and prayers to all the victims of the road rage incidents that happened, their last, was that on Saturday?
At 417.
Yeah. So you recently moved from Panama City Beach to Panama City.
Yeah.
And your new abode was right by where that all went down.
Yeah. It was insane.
So just kind of walk us through, your involvement in the situation.
I mean, and I didn't look. I mean, I'm just chilling.
This is our Afternoon Delight debrief for today because Keith will be joining us at 12.
Yeah. I'm just chilling, and of course this would happen to me, right? Like, I mean,
that's why I asked you about it.
Yeah. And I've got
Definitely wouldn't happen to me or David.
Right.
Maybe David. Probably not me. But you more than anybody I know. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, I just got home from a long day work, and me and Sailor are out walking, and I've got the earpods. Is it AirPods, EarPods, whatever?
It depends on what brand you got. If it's Apple, it's AirPods.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful.
You got them Dollar General.
Yeah.
He's got the earpods.
Earpods.
So I'm just chilling, enjoying a great afternoon of walking the dog.
It's beautiful outside.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Sailor's like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah, and so I glance up and I see this Dodge Ram going through the backside of Holiday Inn parking lot. And this person's going 50 miles an hour.
Just fine. You've never seen anything like this in your life.
Never. Man. Never. And
what are you thinking? What do you think is happening?
Well, with the earpods in, like I can't hear police.
What song were you listening to?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Did you?
I knew you were. I can't remember.
How can you not remember such a traumatic moment? Usually you remember stuff like that. I'm guessing
it was the Cops theme song.
Yeah. Right. Nobody give me no break. Police and no give me no break. Oh, no soldier gonna give me no break. Go ahead, continue. Had to have been that.
Yeah, so anyways, like the Dodge Ram, like basically like gets in a wreck behind Peppers, and I see it all, and I mean it just all of a sudden, I mean it was cops, like I mean it was live cops, and
did you hit the deck at all, or did you just stay standing up?
No, I did not hit the deck. But yeah, I had to come down from that one, man. Like, that was
that's not something you see every day.
No,
and Sailor was not leashed. You were breaking the leash laws in there in Panama City.
Well, we were in that little.
So you were in an area where you could be unleashed.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. And so, anyways, it was interesting. I tell you what. Props to Panama City Police Department because like they were on the spot within 10 seconds of that going on. I'm glad they got that guy.
No doubt. No doubt.
Anyways, it was crazy.
And it's just even more wilder when you text us that you were basically there when it all culminated at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you were.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
You just now moved into Panama City, and that's one of your first experiences.
Right. It can only go up from there, right,
You
Ryan?
would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But this whole look, I mean, I know we're the inside drive, right? But this whole road rage thing, man, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane. I mean, that's a whole nother subject, but just chill. Just chill.
Just be like Jay.
Just chill.
Just be like Jay.
Yeah, absolutely.
BLJ. Not better looking Jay. Be like Jay.
Right.
Speaking of better looking Jay, I need to get him on the show. It's been a while. And baseball season's right around the corner here.
And I saw his name on the celebrity list out at Bay Point. There was a Chipola College baseball tournament back on Thursday. You remember how cold it was Thursday?
Yes. It was 18 up there in the big ATL.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. But he was out at Bay Point. I was not there. It was too cold for me. But, yeah. Who else was there? Batista was there, I believe. Is it Batista?
The wrestler?
No, the MLB player, Juan, but
Jose Batista.
There you go,
Tony.
Yeah. Are we sure that I'm right about that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but anyways, hopefully Chapman is doing well. I haven't seen him in quite some time.
I think he is. I know he had a beautiful baby girl not too long ago, so he's enjoying the dad life and getting used to that. So.
Yeah.
Joe Batista. Jose. Did you say Jose?
Jose Batista. That sounds right.
Bautista. Bautista.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. He's from the Dominican?
Yeah.
Did he play for Chipola? Because, you know, that's the guy that Rougned Odor hit.
Yes.
Second base, yeah.
I knew the name sounded familiar. I wonder if he did play at...
Yeah, he did play at Chipola.
There you go.
Pretty cool stuff.
Good job, Jay. Already bringing a lot of stuff to the show this morning.
Negative, Ron.
No, that was good. That was good. That was fantastic. You were there when everything went down on Saturday, and you were there to let us know the other celebrities in the Chipola baseball tournament. Were they raising money for the program?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But you didn't play because it was too chilly.
I mean, I didn't get invited, but...
yeah.
But
that's unusual.
But you got your own card, man. You can just join in any hole you want.
People do that out there all the time.
Yeah. No, I hibernate. You know me, man. I hibernate if it's below 55. Like, I can't do anything. Like, I don't know about you guys, but...
I don't know if I hibernate, but...
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if I was out there in 55 right now, I'd feel fantastic.
Mm-hmm. No wind.
No wind. The wind is key, especially in the game of golf.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch any of that TGL last night, Jay?
I caught the tail end. It didn't finish till super late, I feel like. It was a Jupiter versus the Bay last night. I think that was a primetime one.
Yeah.
And I knew Jupiter was going to lose that one. They've got the worst
suck.
team in TGL.
Yeah. And Bay's obviously, I think they're leading everything now.
Do you guys feel like it's catching a little bit of fire, or do you feel like it's fizzling out?
I mean,
I watched the second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently Brooks Koepka made an appearance there last night, and he made a surprise TGL appearance. He made that ahead of the latest round of the TGL matches. Have we finally achieved peace in our time in elite men's professional golf? Has Koepka done a Tony Finau and signed a short TGL contract? These are some of the questions being asked after the American made a surprise appearance at the SoFi Center in Florida ahead of Jupiter Lynx TGL match against the Bay. Koepka and his glamorous wife Jenna were spotted mingling with TGL competitors on Tuesday evening. The five-time major champion was grinning from ear to ear as he caught up with the likes of Wyndham Clark, Max Homa, Kevin Kisner, Tony Kim, and Shane Lowry. As a live golfer, the 34-year-old is prohibited from taking part in TGL, given the PGA Tour own 20% of the Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods venture with Tomorrow Sports, TMRW. That's I think that's Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, some kind of acronym in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's also some rumors floating around right now that Bryson DeChambeau asked the LIV Tour for a huge extension, and they denied that, so he's potentially going to be heading back to the PGA Tour very soon. What do you think about that, Jay?
That would not be good for LIV, obviously.
No, certainly wouldn't be good for LIV, but what do you think about for the PGA Tour?
Be great. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they need, something like that to get it all back. But yeah, what do you think?
I think it'd be good. I think it's we've been waiting how long for some kind of resolution to the divide on professional golf right now.
Right.
And I think if they were to get one person to come back, I mean, he would be the guy. He's got the most social media following. He seems to be the one wanting to do the most to help actually grow the game of golf.
Yeah.
And, we got a big Ryder Cup coming up next year as well up there at Bethpage Black. So, I think he needs to, I don't know if he can be, I don't think he can be on the LIV Tour, be a Ryder Cup member. On the American side anyway, maybe on the European side. But yeah. Yeah.
The team event works well with TGL. I just don't know if the TGL works well on green grass. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my thought. It's quicker through the TGL, and you're able to kind of, like I said, see more shots, I feel like, and I don't know. I'm not, I'm a big TGL kind of. I just like primetime golf on a weeknight.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. And speaking of primetime golf on a weeknight, Masters is coming up in not too long.
I know.
And TBC Sawgrass will be here before we know it.
Yeah.
The Players Championship, I should say. I shouldn't say the name of the golf course is the name of the tournament, because it's not. It's the Players.
That's right.
Which is coming up here very, very soon, next month.
It is indeed.
And then we make a nice stretch of the Players, the Masters, the PGA, the Open, and then the Open Championship.
Yeah.
So major golf is certainly right around the corner. That is for certain. Now, Jay.
Yes.
A lot of this happened when we were off the air, which was kind of a bummer because it was awesome. And that is the Four Nations Cup. Were you able to watch any of that international hockey action?
Man, I did not see one thing.
That's because you're an American.
I am.
Which I knew.
Yeah.
Which I knew.
Right.
We already knew that.
I didn't.
But
tell me about it.
Well, it was epic, and the NHL did a fantastic job of basically trying to get everybody ready for international hockey again, as the Olympics will be back next winter, not this winter. So instead of doing the All-Star break, which typically is a kind of a makeshift 3-on-3 hockey game with multiple teams, and they play hard, but not as hard as this particular event went down. So they added this in there, gave all the NHL players a break. They played NHL-style hockey on an international stage, where usually international hockey is played on a bigger rink, a little bit different rules. But this time they just kept with the NHL, and it was very exciting because one of the early matchups, Team USA upset Team Canada. Now, Team USA did not end up winning the whole thing, as Canada did win in overtime on Connor McDavid's overtime goal for Canada to beat the U.S. in 3-2, which was just an epic game. And, the timing was fantastic because it was on there in the old Hospital up there in Atlanta, so I was able to watch some hockey while chilling in the hospital bed, and some great hockey nonetheless. But the Four Nations Championship game between the United States and Canada on this past Thursday night, marked the largest audience for a hockey game on ESPN, the network announced this past Friday. In the game, which Canada beat U.S. 3-2 in an overtime thriller, garnered 9.3 million viewers, with 10.4 million viewers at its peak. It was also the largest audience for a non-NFL event ever on ESPN+. As I mentioned, Edmonton Oilers star Connor McDavid scored 8 minutes and 18 seconds into overtime to lift Canada over the United States to win the championship game of the inaugural best-on-best tournament at Boston's TD Garden. Jordan Binnington held the Americans to 2 goals on 33 shots, and right before Connor McDavid scored as well, he made 3 huge saves that you thought the Americans were going to get one past him and pull off the second biggest upset of the tournament. But I thought it was a cool move from the NHL, and a lot of conversation sparked from it on what the NBA should do with their All-Star game and everything going on, because it kind of simultaneously happened a little bit with the NBA All-Star game as well. But I believe in 2028, 26 is the next Winter Olympics. 2028 would be the next time they do this nations face-off. I think they're going to add 4 more nations. So I think it's going to be an 8-nation face-off, which will be pretty awesome. It'll include the Russian team, Czechoslovakia or Czechia, whatever they're called nowadays. But I just love international hockey because they care so much, and that's what they accomplished. Obviously, the viewership paired with that very, very nicely, and they got record viewership for a hockey game. And when you're playing for your country, and it's not just an exhibition All-Star game, it's an exhibition with a lot of pride, national pride, all that stuff. It seemed to really, they really seemed to make something happen. The 4 games of the tournament averaged 4.3 million viewers. Pretty cool stuff.
Wow.
Pretty cool stuff. But
yeah, I mean, to play for your country and then to get into all those fights. I mean,
we didn't even get to talk about that.
I mean, to know that each fist punch is for my country.
Yeah. America. Canada.
Boom.
There you go. That was exciting, though.
I bet.
That was exciting. It was just, you're like, what is happening? There's 1. There's 2. Now there's a third fight. And, people think, I went to a hockey game, or I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a whole different ball game. That was, they were fighting. And a lot of people, the Canadian fans there in Montreal booed during the United States national anthem. And I don't think the Americans took very kindly to that. So
good for us for standing up.
Yeah, right. About time.
Dang right.
Dang right. You ready to fight a Canadian, Jay?
No.
There's a bunch in town. We can line something up.
I'm just messing around.
Don't mess around.
Yeah.
Don't mess around.
Just do the mess around.
do the mess around. We got to go ahead and take a quick break because we got Brad Law from the Auburn Sports Network coming up next. Those #1 ranked Auburn Tigers, can they finally make some noise in the NCAA tournament? You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Hold on.
How many Pearsons do you have?
Not going there. Anyways.
Easy.
I'm not answering that question, LSU Jeff.
Whoa!
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 71 with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest. For tonight, a variety of partly cloudy skies and slight fog and a low near 59. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning and then some clouds and a high around 69. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com. On Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
Bestway Portable Buildings recognizes the optimism in the air, and a golden age has begun for all to share. Bestway has been constructing durable, custom-made portable buildings in just about any size since 1989. They know what they're doing. Of course, you're not obligated in any way to buy from Bestway Portable Buildings. However, owner Jason Mulder asks that you please give them a try before you buy. Bestway Portable Buildings, a golden age builder north of the Old Mall on Highway 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com.
From the beach to the bay to the backyard. It's the Inside Drive from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
I've got sand in my underpants.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And obviously we didn't have him on last week. We're out of pocket, as some may say there. But we are back in studio now, and I'm actually kind of excited to talk to him this week versus last week as those Auburn Tigers continue to win on the hard court. And that is our good friend Brad Law. He's the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Network. He's now switching to baseball season too. But hey, we're full swing into basketball right now, and the regular season is getting closer to coming to an end. But Brad, specifically talking about this team, they continue to set records. Some of these players are just doing special things on and off the court. What is it about this Auburn Tigers basketball team that just seems different than all the other ones that have come before it?
Yeah, they're a mature team. They're like the 23rd or 24th oldest team in college basketball, 3rd or 4th oldest in the SEC. So they're mature. I mean, if it's Dylan Cardwell or Janai Broom or Denver Jones and Chris Moore coming off the bench, Jaheim Hudson, who's not a huge, he doesn't get 30 minutes a game, may only play 7 or 8, but he's an experienced player. Miles Kelly has experience. All these guys that Auburn is counting on in big roles have a lot of experience in college basketball. So that's one thing. Denver and Chaney Johnson and Janai Broom and Dylan Cardwell and Chris Moore, they're multi-year guys in this system. So that's another thing. You have a coaching staff that's been together for many years. That's another thing. And it's a really balanced, just like on the floor, Ryan, it's a balanced team. They're balanced inside, they're balanced outside from a scoring perspective. Defensively, they're good inside, they're good outside. So I think all those things, you put all those in the pot, and it's a pretty special recipe, has been so far.
Yeah, no doubt. It's kind of, when one part of the basketball team, I don't want to use the word struggling, but may not be hitting as many shots consistently, it kind of shifts to almost a different group of guys, and you always know there's just one part of the team that continues to be right there where we need it. And obviously, Chaney Johnson and Denver Jones have been playing great basketball as of late. Of course, Janai Broome has been having an unbelievable year doing things that nobody else is doing in college basketball. I believe his stat line when he had 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists this past weekend. He's the only player in Division I basketball this season to reach those totals. And Ben Simmons is the only other SEC player that had that many points, rebounds, and assists in a game this century. So obviously what some of these guys are doing on the hardwood is something we haven't seen before at Auburn, and continues to be well as they continue to lead the SEC and continue to dig through this extremely difficult schedule. That's what's even crazier. I mean, and obviously they've got still several games to go here this season. Ole Miss tonight, Kentucky this weekend, Texas A&M, and then finishing the season out with Alabama, who luckily they got by in a great game a couple Saturdays ago, and will obviously certainly be a tough test, but luckily we'll be there at Neville Arena coming up to close out the SEC regular season. Currently, Auburn has 14 quad one wins, which is the most all-time in NCAA history. They've been kind of tying the record. They got to 13, which was a tie, and now they're at 14. And, for those that don't, we've talked about it before with you, but the quad one wins are basically, the top tier of basketball teams out there, and they've got not only do they have a ton of quad one wins, but they've also got 5 quad two wins, 2 quad three wins, and then they're 4-0 with quad 4. So just doing stuff that a team has not, done on the regular before, and it's pretty fun to watch. With the game coming up tonight, Brad, Auburn has a chance to sweep Ole Miss, I believe, for the first time in a little while. So what are the keys to the game tonight, which you can listen to right here on ESPN Northwest Florida?
Yeah, I think the keys are to value the ball. Ole Miss is the best team in college basketball at turnover margin. They value the ball themselves, and they turn you over. I'm searching for the stat right now. And they've got 6 guys that average double figures. So, and they lead the country in fewest turnovers per game. They're 3rd in turnover margin. So they don't turn it over, and they turn you over. It's how they went into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama early in conference play. It's how they've been able to earn some of these tough wins that they have gotten. Auburn has had success now. They have swept Ole Miss. This would actually be the 4th straight year for them to sweep. They haven't lost to Ole Miss in the last 7 games. Got to keep, and there's some formulas for that. Protect the ball, shoot well, and defend well. Auburn's 3-point shooting in home games has not been great as of late. They're like 200th in the country in home court 3-point percentage. Most teams shoot it better at home. Auburn shoots it better on the road from long range. So either make some shots early, take some better shots from long range, or just run the thing through the post earlier and establish that, and maybe that opens up some better shots from the outside. But going to have to shoot well and value the ball to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, absolutely. No easy test, or no easy games in the SEC this year. It seems like we can see that with what happened last night to Georgia and Florida, suffering kind of a late loss. They got a lead there at the end of the game, but Georgia ended up finishing it off, and then Alabama seems to live or die by the 3 right now, and that's kind of what led to their loss against Auburn a couple of weekends ago, is they just weren't as hot as they normally are behind the arc, and Auburn was able to take advantage of that. Obviously, we've seen kind of this same story before with the Auburn Tigers, having a great regular season, even winning the SEC tournament, but then when getting to the actual NCAA tournament, things seem to kind of, flame out a little bit, for lack of a better term. Obviously, last year, losing to Yale in the first round. Obviously, Chad Baker-Mazara had that. He got ejected from the game, kind of losing his cool a little bit there. What has Auburn got to do this year? Because obviously, one of the best teams in the country without a doubt, and a real front runner to win an NCAA national championship, the first NCAA national championship in basketball for the Auburn Tigers. What do they got to do to prepare for that, to make sure that I hate to use the word trend, but that kind of pattern that has been kind of what we've seen the last few years with great basketball teams, although this team does seem a little bit different. What does Bruce Pearl and the Tigers got to do to prepare for the NCAA tournament? Obviously, the SEC tournament's going to be a great warm-up for that with how good the competition will be.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm glad you asked that question. It's one that I kind of wish more people would ask because we could talk about it a little bit. Last year, the team was upset in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and that happens every year. For sure. 2 years ago, Auburn was in the bracket with the number 1 seed, Houston. And they won their first round game against Iowa, and they lost to the number 1 seed in the bracket. I don't consider that falling short. 3 years ago, they won the SEC regular season championship, and they went out as a 2 seed to the 7 or 10. I don't remember what Miami was. That was disappointing, 100%. They fell short that year. The last time before that they were in the NCAA tournament, they went to the Final Four. So I think maybe some of this, some of the narrative that, Auburn never performs up to scale at the NCAA tournament, I think that's maybe a little sensationalized.
Yeah.
Two of the last 3 years, two of the last 3, they've been upset. And you certainly don't want that to continue. I think if it happens again, then you might start talking about trends. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I think this team so much is based on matchups. I think Auburn's probably going to be the 1 seed in Lexington. You're going to play a 16 seed that you ought to handle. In the 8-9 game, you're going to have probably a big name team that has had an average year. Big name, average year. It's all about your focus and your preparation and the matchups. On paper, on a neutral floor, Auburn should be favored in every game that it plays in the NCAA tournament. So, can the players take the same level of focus and preparation and then execution on the court that we've seen? There's no way that we can predict what's going to happen in any of these games. But, a 30-game sample size of this season would tell you that Auburn's pretty good about preparing and then taking that preparation and executing on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. And one of the things you really like to see this year versus some of the years prior is their record on the road. Obviously, they've been a really, really good team at home, but this year they've went to a lot of neutral site tournaments and won some big games. Obviously, their one big loss there was to Duke, who's arguably the second best team in the country, with the other potential player of the year in Cooper Flagg on that one. So I'll give them a little bit of a pass on that one, but it's just nice to see their record on the road this year and how that may pair well going into not only the SEC tournament, but of course the NCAA tournament as well.
Yeah, road games and neutral site games. Winning 3 games in 3 days in Maui over the teams that they beat to do it says a lot. And, they beat Houston in Houston. Not a road game, a neutral site game, but it was in Houston. Beat Purdue in Birmingham. So they have the experience of playing on some neutral floors and having success there. So hopefully some quick starts. They've also started very well the last handful of ball games. Hopefully that continues tonight and on into postseason too.
Yeah, definitely. That I can kind of think of that as watching previous seasons' teams, and you just almost in college basketball in general, you got to get out to a quick start nowadays because these teams are so good and so fast and can turn that press on you so quickly. But certainly good to see them getting off to these fast starts. With their remaining schedule, Brad, obviously Alabama is the best of the teams remaining, but Kentucky no slouch to that as well. But besides Alabama, who do you think would be the toughest opponent for Auburn to finish out the regular season?
Yeah, if I had to rank these games, and I can do this because I'm not coaching or playing in the games, and they're all very, very tough. So it's like, rank your favorite candy in the box of chocolates. Like, well, they're all good. They're all very good. So I think it's probably, I would say Texas A&M 1, Kentucky 2, because they're on the road.
Yeah.
And even though Auburn has not lost a conference game on the road, A&M is a rough and tumble team. They're 10-5, I think, in league play at this point, or 9-5, depending what happens tonight. Auburn hasn't won at Rupp Arena since 1988. 88, the last time they won at Rupp Arena. So you got to go there. And then probably Alabama third, and then Ole Miss fourth. So, if Ole Miss is the fourth toughest game you have left out of the four remaining, and we know how good Ole Miss is, that tells you about this remaining schedule. There's nothing clinched. There's nothing determined at this point. Auburn's got to win 2 more SEC games to clinch the regular season championship, and every single one of them is going to be intriguing for listeners. Every single one of them is going to be challenging.
Yep, no doubt. Like you said, Auburn currently has a 1.5-game lead in the SEC standings ahead of the Alabama Crimson Tide, and with Florida's loss last night to Georgia, a 2.5-game lead over Florida as well. But the SEC this year has just been a formidable conference on the hardwood, and pretty impressive to see. Just I feel like any team can beat any other team any given day out there on the hardwood. So if you're a basketball fan, regardless if you're an Auburn fan, an Alabama fan, a Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, whatever it may be, it makes for great basketball. But yeah, looking forward to hearing the game tonight on ESPN Northwest Florida, and then of course the game this weekend will also be right here. The remaining games will be on ESPN Northwest Florida, of course, culminating with the Alabama Crimson Tide, which I got to imagine the students are going to be camping out here pretty soon to get into that one, as that's going to be what a way to end a season. Likely to have another top 5 matchup between Alabama and Auburn in basketball. How lucky have we been as fans this year with everything going on for the Tigers and the Crimson Tide? Because obviously a lot of Alabama folk down here as well.
From the Auburn perspective, the Alabama fans can think for themselves. But from the Auburn perspective, it's been phenomenal to watch this team meet test after test after test and pass test after test after test. We're in the middle of an historic season, and we're getting to watch the best player in college basketball in Johni Broome. Comparable stats, he and Flag stats are comparable, and Johni's doing it against the toughest conference schedule the league has ever seen, and this is the toughest, maybe league schedule overall we've seen in college basketball in a very long time. And so, to see Johni put up these numbers consistently, best player, best team, best league, stop and enjoy it, because we've only got a couple of weeks left in the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt. Has Auburn had a National Player of the Year before? Did Charles win that? Or I don't know my stat history when it comes to that with Auburn. So I'm just curious, if he were to win it, would he be the first one in Auburn Tigers men's basketball history?
He would. He'd be the first.
Yeah, I think if he can. I was just going to say, I think if he continues what he's doing, like you just said, best player on the best team with the best schedule, usually those 3 things, when you can check all 3 of those off, that leads to winning that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's an individual award, and of course, I'm sure he wants the bigger trophy beyond that, but would certainly be cool to kind of cement his legacy as an Auburn Tiger there, and then of course improve his NBA draft stock going into next year. But his number is pretty fantastic, averaging 18.6 a game. The craziest part is he's averaging over 50% from the field, 50.7%. And he's also got 3.4 assists per game. So just playing fantastic all around. And of course, rebounding 11.1 rebounds per game, also blocking 2.6 per game. And then he's also got some decent steals per game. But Chad Baker-Mazara is the one leading the team in that one. Well, let me ask you this. I just thought about this. What is it about Chad Baker-Mazara that he gets fouled on 3-point shots like nobody else I've ever seen in college basketball? It's just like he has a knack when he takes a 3-point shot to get fouled, and he makes all 3 of his free throws all the time. What a I don't want to say weapon, but what a attribute to have, because when you get fouled on the 3-point, that gives you so much momentum.
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm not sure about the technique. He's got a little bit of a longer, like a slower release.
Kind of a long stride and a long in his shot, which lends to be, if people don't jump by you trying to block that shot, you're going to end up getting hit more times than not, more often than not.
Yeah, I think that may have something to do with it. People come flying at him and they have longer to go, he flies forward a little bit, and you have to give a guy room to land.
Yep.
So if you don't give him room to land, that's a foul. And he's the best, or one of the best free throw shooters in the entire SEC. So, and he's hit a couple I think he had one game earlier this year where he had 2 4-point plays.
Yeah, which
in the
is...
game. Or he had back-to-back games with 4-point plays.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
No doubt. The whole team is certainly a lot of fun to watch, and they're calling. They all do the call to God. It's a really special team and a lot of fun to watch, and they're doing some special things off the court as well. I saw they hosted a kid I believe it was this past weekend, and they're doing all the right things. And usually, when you're doing all the right things, that equates to some good success on and off the court. But Brad, I know you're getting ready to travel here out to Texas, I believe is what you said, for some SEC baseball there, for some Auburn Tiger baseball. Hard to believe we're in baseball season already as well. But, safe travels out there, and we look forward to talking to you in a couple weeks, and hopefully we'll be preparing for the SEC tournament play, and the Auburn Tigers making a run into playoffs.
We love it. We appreciate it. Always enjoy talking to you, Ryan, and hopefully we're talking about big-time postseason things next time we get together.
Absolutely. That's Brad Law. He's the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Network. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive. When we get back, we're going to talk about some other men's college basketball action.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Aaron needs a third act. You do not want to be remembered. Favre had success in Minnesota. Peyton Manning wins a Super Bowl in Denver. Tomlin wins in Tampa. You're known as a quarterback that leaves Green Bay, and the Packers the next year are better without you, and you bomb in New York.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
In February, we celebrate Valentine's Day and President's Day. And with the warmer weather, could spring be far behind? That Boot Store will help you celebrate any time of the year with one of the widest selections of Western wear in the area. That Boot Store can fit the smallest to the largest, so bring the family and dress up Western style at an affordable price. Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burke at 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay.
Yes, sir.
What is the NFL Combine?
Oh, man. You throw me a curveball this morning.
Is it a curveball, or is it a really easy question that you should know the answer to?
It's a screwball is what it is.
That's when they combine all the sports together and get them over there for trials.
Yeah, that's right. It's called the Olympics.
How about the skills needed to perform at the highest level? AKA running, jumping, catching, intercepting a pass.
That would also be catching. Technically.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, that's about it.
No, that's all I got. There's also some throwing and some kicking in there too.
Okay, yeah.
But yes, the NFL Combine is indeed the test that they do to kind of grade all these prospects coming out of college.
The SATs of NFL.
So to speak. A little more physical than the SATs, though.
Yeah.
But Speaking of SATs, how's Griffin doing?
I don't know. We'll check to see. It's got to be better than 98. But
Whew, 98 was a great year.
Yeah.
Great year.
No doubt. Music was much better back then.
Yeah, that's certainly true. But yes, the Combine, will keep you updated on that as it progresses. I believe it starts tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, and runs all the way through Sunday. You can catch a lot of that on the NFL Network. It looks like Pat McAfee Show is reporting from Indianapolis as we speak, if that is indeed where it is. I think it's always in Indy, right, Jay?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Combine just seems like just a bad word for some reason. I don't know. Just combine. It just sounds bad.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Combine, I think it's like a synonym for test.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
All right.
It's not what you're thinking, combine.
Combine.
It's combine.
Combine.
Yes, like a test.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hadn't had a chance to talk about it yet, and we're going to do it here real quick. I want to give a big shout-out to the Arnold Marlins boys soccer team. We'll have Coach Jonah Hammond on with us on Friday at 11:20 to talk about his back-to-back state championship victories. Another victory down there against Jesuit, and they won in PKs. I don't know if you saw or heard any of that, Jay. Yeah. You know, being an Arnold golf coach, you should be all about that.
The same, is that the same team that they beat last year?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yep, same team they beat last year. And, ironically, that particular campus, they didn't play at that campus. They played at the Lake Merrill Sports Complex, which is closer to Orlando. Was really close to where we stayed when we went to the Niners Bucks game last year.
Okay.
Jesuit was right there, and it looked like a Ivy League school. And, we used to call private kids schools when we played hockey growing up in New Jersey. We used to call them cake eaters. I'm sure I've said that on the air before.
Right.
And but yeah, so they got the victory in PKs. They tied the game up after going down 1-0 on a. They had a corner kick that got knocked out by the goalie, and then in turn became another corner kick. Kicked it in, came out, ball got passed in. They buried it in the corner, and then played even all the way through the 2 overtime periods, all the way into another PK. And Lincoln, the keeper, stopped one that ended up being crucial, and then Arnold was able to get the lead at that point, and then Jesuit had a chance to tie it, and the kid kicked it over the net.
Wow.
So Arnold ended up winning, again, back-to-back state championships. So congratulations to the Arnold Marlins. That's 3 out of the last 5 years. I think it's fair to call them that D word, Jay.
What's that?
Dynasty.
Yes, sir.
A soccer dynasty. I know they finished right now. They're currently number 2 in the nation. There's a team out in California that's number 1 in the nation. If they were to lose their state championship, Arnold would again be national champions.
Unbelievable.
Pretty impressive stuff. And we talked to Jonah periodically throughout his season, and I know they lost 9 out of 11 seniors, or 9 out of 11 starters from last year's state championship team. So to be able to do that in consecutive years is pretty darn impressive. Yeah. So kudos to Jonah Hammond and the rest of the Marlins soccer team.
Very much so.
They just keep doing special things.
3-peat next year.
Ooh.
That's the word of the year, 3-peat.
That's true.
Yeah.
Chiefs couldn't do it. If anybody can do it, the Marlins can do it.
You got that right.
What's the sound a marlin make?
I don't know.
Come on, you got this.
I don't know.
It's not a dolphin.
Yeah, I like your dolphin sound, though.
I don't know if I can do it right now.
Yeah.
But these headphones are killing me.
Are they?
Yeah. But yeah, so congratulations. And again, we'll have Coach Hammond on at 11:20 on Friday. Look forward to talking to him about the program he has built and continues to do so well with. And, I would imagine another Coach of the Year award for him. I don't see why he wouldn't get one after going back-to-back with an entirely brand new starting roster out there. But, good to see a lot of the Arnold faithful make the trip as well, not only to the Final Four, but, I went over there when they had to play Booker T. Washington in the regional final. There was quite a bit of Arnold Marlins that went out there as well, but high-level soccer for high school. It's pretty impressive to watch. Pretty impressive to watch. How's all your, speaking of high-level stuff, how's all your junior camps going? Your Mondays, and How's all that going?
So that hasn't kicked off yet until March 24th.
That's right. It doesn't start until
March 24th
after spring break.
However, we've had the we have had the high school golf camp on Sundays, the training camp.
Yes,
and that has been spectacular.
Awesome.
The kids are doing great. We're in week, man, it just goes by so quick. We're in week 5 of 6 right now, and like I said, I mean, a lot of the high schools in the area are represented every Sunday. I mean, you've got North Bayhaven, Mosley, you've got Arnold. Those are represented every Sunday, and we're out having a good time. Me and Coach Michael are getting them out on the golf course and just trying to get that confidence up for tournament play.
So that kind of been the big focal point for the training camp, is just getting them confident for playing in tournaments and scoring well when it matters the most.
And fortunately, I mean, we've been able to, like Sunday was the weather wasn't that great, so the golf course wasn't overly busy. So, having 10 or 11 kids, hit shots in front of each other, I think that helps a lot too, as far as just building confidence.
A lot of little competitional things as well.
Yeah, a lot of competitions.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Competition breeds better play.
It does. It does.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But other than that, that's about it.
You got any other, do you have a spring break camp coming up?
No spring break.
Okay.
We're kicking off I know Bay spring break is March 18th through, or 17th through the 23rd. So we're kicking it off the Monday after.
Okay. And that's like the 8-week development program?
Yes. Yep. For ages 7 to 12.
And that's from 4 to 5 on
4
Mondays?
to 5 on Mondays.
Nice.
Yep.
And your days are getting longer every day.
March 9th, we're getting more sunlight.
In the evenings, yes. Just not in the morning.
Yeah, in the evenings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although it'll still get longer in the mornings too.
Right.
But it kind of resets a little bit.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
More time for the grass to grow.
Asher, hey, you got that right. You got that right.
Oh.
Yeah.
When's the last time you mowed a lawn?
Oh, man, Mulvey.
Well, you were like, that's right. Like, you just did it recently.
Let me see. Hold on. Let's go back. 2014.
Whoa! 10 years since you mowed a lawn?
Yeah. And I love it.
It's very, if you're
No, take that back. When Hurricane Michael hit, I went and worked grounds crew at a golf course in Georgia for about 6 months. It was fun the first month. I was like, man, this is cool. Got my AirPods in. This is good. Listen to music. And I got bored real quick.
Yeah, you got to like the completionist kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I never complete anything. So.
There you go. Oh goodness. But yeah, no, it can be very methodical and very appeasing, but yeah, if your mind starts to wander, it can get, good to listen to like books on tape and stuff like that.
How about you, Mulv Dog? When did you get on a Toro last?
Well,
or John Deere.
Last time I mowed my yard was when we lived over there, probably let's call it 19 or 20.
Yeah.
But I had a push mower because my yard wasn't very big.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I had got out on the rough units at Bay Point not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's always a good time, too. I learned very quickly that the only bridge that you can go across to get to number 5 Island is the one in the fairway by the green, not the one by the tee box to the fairway. Okay. Because I hit some of the pilings there when I was trying to go. I was like, oh, this is not the bridge we go across. So I learned that little fun fact, little tidbit there. And
life's a dance. You learn as you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just whoever's leading. That's who you got to pay attention to. And if you're leading yourself, it's typically probably not good. What did Joe Dierte say? Life's a garden. Just dig it.
Just dig it, baby.
There you go.
Just dig it.
There you go. Yeah, Indianapolis, Indiana. See, I told you.
Why
does he keep saying Indiana's a wild, or Disney World's a wild place? Because that's not in Indiana.
No, it's not. I can't imagine. Yeah. Oof.
I don't know. We got a caller in line. Who do we got out there? Hello?
Ohio, Brad. Hey.
Hey, Brad. How are you, man?
Good, man. I got a really funny lawn mowing story.
Yes. We're excited for it.
Growing up, I always worked at golf courses. Like, I've worked at some really nice Troon-owned courses. I've worked for my local college course, public courses, you name it. First time I ever was working at a golf course, they had me mow the range. And they forgot to pick up the golf balls beforehand.
Beware of flying objects.
And I had no idea. I was like, this does not seem right. I'm just chewing up, dude, like hundreds of golf balls.
Yeah.
And finally someone runs out there, and I mean, it was my first day on the job, and I was like, I don't know, like, you guys had me do it. So they had to buy a whole new thing of range balls because they sent me out. Dude, it was crazy. Just mowing up like hundreds of golf balls.
Well, and that brings up a very important point when it comes to your golf staff and your course operations staff is communication, knowing when the clean pick is supposed to happen. And for that reason, when people has to close a couple hours early on a Wednesday afternoon, there's a reason, because you got to get all those range balls off there. Otherwise, you run into a situation like you encountered on your first day on the job.
You should have seen everyone's faces, man.
Oh, man, I bet it was epic. But, yeah, and those golf balls will come flying out of those blades, too. You got to be careful.
They were almost hitting me. They were bouncing off of, like, where the wheels connect to the mower.
Yep.
Coming back at me.
Yeah.
How much of the range did you get mowed before somebody came out there? Was it like the whole entire...
Oh, like all of it? I'm a good worker, man. They had to redo all of it.
That's great.
Oh, man. That's a good... I mean, and, people that have been in the golf business for a long time can certainly relate, because that's happened at least once.
I'll give them a shout-out if anyone's listening. That was at BGSU, Bowling Green State University, Northwest Ohio. Shout-out Falcons. Roll along.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you go. What type of mower was it, Brad? Just curious.
It was a big 3-wing rough mower.
Nice. Big. Yeah. What was it? Green, orange, or red?
It was a Toro, I believe.
Okay, so red. There you go. Same as Augusta.
Yeah.
March of the mower.
Hey, dude, they can chew up golf balls, though. I mean, a sales rep could come out and be like, "Hey, this bad boy will chomp up thousands of golf balls before anything will happen."
Yep. And lo and behold, most range balls are not cheap. A lot of people think they are, but can be anywhere from 10 cents to 40 cents a golf ball, depending on the pieces and the construction of those golf balls. So when you're at your local club, don't steal those range balls.
No.
Please leave them for the range to.
Yeah, and I'm sure they just had to redo them all, because I maybe didn't chop them all, but what, is somebody going to check each one for cut marks?
Yeah, and it's tougher to wash them, too, when they're all chewed up like that.
I think you just sharpened the blade, man. I honestly feel like you sharpened the blade.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while. It's good calling in.
Yeah, no, appreciate you sharing that story. That's right up our alley. That is for sure. That is for sure. Well, shout out to Bowling Green State University in Ohio, Brad. We appreciate you giving us a shout. We got to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be joined by Keith Fleming, and it's we are pivoting from football to golf season, Jay, for Fantasy DFS. You're listening to The Inside Drive. It is Tuesday. It is Wednesday, February 26th. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's that time of year again. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach presents the Spring Fling Juried Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 3 at Frank Brown Park Recreation Center. Donation is only $1 for adults. Sponsored by the Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach, a non-profit organization supporting charitable causes in Panama City Beach and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, and look for it to be 71. Tonight there will be a mixture of partly cloudy skies and slight fog with the temperature reaching 59. Slightly foggy in the morning, but otherwise some clouds tomorrow with a high of 69. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
4. Don't mind me. I'm just playing through. Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back on the Jersey Shore, hanging out with Jeremy Shockey at the club. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive. It is, I keep saying Tuesday. It's not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, and our normal, regular Wednesday guest, Keith Fleming, although it's been a few weeks, not to his fault, is back with us. But you guys are listening to the Inside Drive on 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, 3 great local shows every day. Coach James Hale Show from 7 to 9, Inside Drive from 11 to 1, and of course the afternoon underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. And then tonight, following the afternoon underdogs, you got the Auburn Tigers hosting the Ole Miss Rebels. I believe coverage starts right after the afternoon underdogs, and I forget what tip-off time that game is. I can find it real quick here. I know Keith does not care or know. 6 p.m. So you guys are rolling right from the afternoon underdogs right into that game. Should be another good one there for the Auburn Tigers. And then, of course, as Jay always says, you can download the free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. All you have to do is search up 104.3. It'll show up on your first page of your search results. Download that. You can listen to us anywhere you have your phone and cell phone service. And then last but not least, you can head over to ESPNPC.com. Click that Listen Live button. But the thing you really need to do when you're there, if you're tired of getting gouged by Netflix, Hulu, YouTube TV, all you got to do is sign up for Lucid Streams TV. It's $20. That'd be amazing. $41.99 a month for over 2,000 channels on demand, 10,000 movies on demand. Includes all your regional, local, all your pay-per-view events, all your sporting events, all that right there at Lucid Streams TV. Just head over to ESPNPC.com, click on the TV channel icon, follow the prompts to sign up. Also want to give a shout out to our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. It's becoming fishing weather, and being out there on that boat, as we did have a little bit of a cool down last week, but it is beautiful again this week, and running out of time to get that annual service and get all your accessories hooked back up to get ready for the next fishing season, as the federal waters keep extending a lot of the different seasons. So if you don't have a boat and you need one, you can head over there to Kramer Marine and Outdoor. They sell the family of CRI boats at Sun Ant Spider, as well as Seabourn. And then, of course, Jay's not here to say it, but the other boat that they sell is Skeeter boats, right there at Kramer Marine and Outdoor.com. All right, Keith, great to have you back. Good to see you last week, and it's good to have a nice bottled Coca-Cola up there in Atlanta. And luckily, when we came back home, we had some bottled Coca-Cola waiting for us as well, just because of how good that one was up there when we got to see you. So always good to see you, my friend, although the circumstances I would have liked to be a little different, but great to have you back on the show, and I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. These headphones are a little bit annoying, but we're working through them, and only got a few more segments to go on today's show. So I appreciate you jumping back on with us. I know it's been a little while. Never really got to recap the Super Bowl or any of that stuff, but all of a sudden, here we are. Golf season is rocking and rolling. TPC Sawgrass, the Players' Championship, coming up next month. 2 months from now, we got the Masters coming up, and then we roll right through all the major championships. But what you got for us today?
We just want to thank Jay. I can tell he's missed me. As David told me right when I called in, he said hello, and he's out of here.
Yes,
so,
yes.
He's
had like the last month off. So, apparently he needed more time to have off. But it's okay. He was here for a little while, but yeah, he did leave again right when you came on. Seems to be a trend for him. You there?
Yeah, sorry. It kind of keeps dropping in and out. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. I don't know how many of you guys watched the Mexico Open. I know that it was a pretty weak field, even by the post-PGA Live standards, but just one of the most fascinating Sunday battles I've ever seen that went into a playoff where you have this 20-year-old phenom and Aldrich, and I'm going to butcher the last name, but I think it's Pogacar.
I think you did it. You did good.
We're going to say it was good. And Brian Campbell, who is somebody who almost lost his Korn Ferry card last year. That's basically like the minor leagues of the PGA Tour. He's never had a top 10 finish. I just want to go over these statistics off the tee because for somebody who has always sort of been on the shorter side, even when I was playing at the highest level competitively, it was just insane the difference in these two guys. So Campbell, average carry distance in the field, 260. That was 184 out of 186 players on tour. Aldrich, 311. Obviously, that's first. Ball speed, 162 per Campbell. That's 181 out of 186. Aldrich, 190. That's first.
That's insane.
Club hit, swing speed. Yeah, it's insane. 108. That's 179th. 125 for Aldrich. That's first. Percentage of drives over 320 yards for Campbell. 3.7. That's 181st out of 186 for Aldrich. 58%. And average driving distance, 277.8. Campbell was dead last in the field. Aldrich, 326.8, was first in the field. So he beat a guy head-to-head in a playoff and all day on Sunday, giving up basically 60 yards off the tee, which go walk 60 yards in your backyard this afternoon, or just think about 60 yards on a football field.
That's a long way.
It's incredible that he got it done. I am, again, disappointed just in the TV coverage. I thought it was really bad. They didn't do a very good job of...
You've already provided more exciting storyline in these first 5 minutes talking about it than they did the entire final round on Sunday.
I don't get it. I really don't. And, they got hammered, and so did Aaron Rai he took 2 minutes over a 2-foot putt. And I'm talking about literally over the ball. He took 2 minutes. And, of course, the coverage being, and I'll never be able to understand or, get, I guess, an explanation for this. They don't cut away. They just stick with them. And you just have a guy literally rotating his shoulders. He's got this weird thing where he crosses his hands. I don't know if you've seen it, Ryan, where he put one, and then he kind of, does this dance. And I'm just going, this is really what we're watching on Sunday? There's got to be somebody hitting a golf shot. Let's go live to, the Muni Club right down the street and let me see somebody hit a shot rather than just watch somebody over a 2-footer. But I'm screaming for the PGA Tour to get better at this. I don't know if you've watched this season of Full Swing. It's incredible. Again, I feel like it's the best season since the first one. The Keegan Bradley Ryder Cup stuff is really good. There's a lot of great stuff in this season, but why are they not doing this on a weekly basis on the PGA Tour? I have no idea. And instead we're getting guys take 2 minutes of just watching somebody get ready to hit a 2-foot putt for par.
Yeah, it's kind of the old definition of insanity, right? Just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And it's getting old. It's certainly getting old. And, we've talked about this at length before. We've had a even on the junior levels of golf, the albeit the more competitive junior levels of golf, they have checkpoints, and pace of play is so hardly pressed, and the rules are just administered to a T. And going up to all the way to the highest level of professional golf, it's like, oh, if you want to take forever, that's fine. We'll just show you on the camera the whole time and, not penalize anybody. I don't know. It just makes no sense. It feels like there's so many opportunities to, and there's so many storylines to talk about. I mean, you were just talking about these two storylines. I mean, that would have been easy for these guys. They have the stats at their fingertips when they're doing these broadcast coverages, and to talk about that that's what people, you want to hear the parody. You want to hear where these guys came from. Like, how is this guy about to win in a playoff when he is giving up so much to this other guy? That's just not one of those things you see very often. So, but yeah.
No, and I mean, you could even explain it, because they did mention numerous times how far ahead he was on his tee shots. But just like, I mean, I would love to hear, just think about at home, the difference in hitting, like, say, your pitching wedge to your 6-iron. And I mean, that's the difference in 60 yards for most golfers at every level.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And especially with, of course, with 3 par 5s on the back. It was just incredible. It's a great story. There's a video on Twitter of Campbell's wife going through the emotions down the stretch on Sunday. Because remember, this is a guy that was fighting for his Corn Ferry card, and he just won $2.5 million. So, life-changing deal for him. I'm very happy for him. I love stories like that. And this is what I love about golf, is that just because somebody is more talented and, has really every advantage. Again, also he's a 20-year-old kid, which in itself is just unbelievable. South Africa, again, has the next, rising star, just like Ernie Els and Retief Goosen and all these guys years ago. But just to see him overcome, giving up that kind of distance, it blew me away, and I was riveted. I really did. I watched the entire back nine.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's, like you said, that's the stuff we should be focusing in on and capitalizing. I mean, I think we've talked about it before, they should focus in on, guys trying to, make the cut on the number and stuff like that when they have the opportunity to, versus, always sticking with the same, flashy players, et cetera, et cetera. But, Brian Campbell, University of Illinois alum, rocketed all the way up to 12th on the FedEx Cup standings. So obviously a life-changing week for the 30-year-old. And, obviously Aldrich is going to be a force to be reckoned with as well. When you got that kind of ball speed and distance, the sky is certainly the limit if you compare that with...
Yeah, it's a little easier game.
Yeah.
I would definitely prefer to, hit 58% of my drives 320-plus yards than my 225-yard drives, but,
I wonder what his club would be that was the same distance as his drive as the other guy's. Campbell's driver, probably his 4-iron or 3-iron or something like that.
Well, he took the fairway wood out of the bag on Sunday because they said, literally, I have buddies that I make fun of because they'll say stuff like, I can't, carry this club because I hit it too far. And it's just like, shut up, okay? If somebody, again, that doesn't hit it very far, I don't want to hear words like, I hit this too far. But they said literally that was the problem because the drivable par 4, I believe it was playing 295, and he basically had to choose between a 2-iron and a bunt driver, and he bunted driver to the back of the green. So.
Yeah, different ball game, no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Love a 295 bunt driver.
Yeah, just try a little slide one down there a little bit, choke up.
So I think, Ryan, people are getting adjusted to this week's event because it's one of my favorite on tour, one of my favorite courses. It was the Honda Classic for forever.
Yeah.
And I think when it first changed to the Cognizant Classic, it lost a lot of its luster. It's good to see that the field is much stronger this year than the first 2 years of the Cognizant. This has a lot to do with the way the PGA kind of redid its schedule this year. We know that in the past, the Tour, why am I blanking on the Players Championship has been basically, right around this time. They moved it back slightly. I like some of the changes they made. It's put a really strong field at PGA National, known as the Bear Trap, designed by Jack Nicklaus. So much is going to get attention as that 3-hole stretch. It's 4th most difficult on tour. I believe it's 15 through 17. But this is a venue that just I mean, let's put it this way, Ryan. If me, you, Jay, and another buddy are going to play PGA National, there's a good chance at the turn one of us is going in to buy more golf balls. There's water absolutely everywhere. Comes into play on 13 holes. It's the toughest venue on tour for shots beyond 150 yards. And let's just go ahead and say it. That's all guys are going to be hitting. 11% of the shots the last 2 years have been inside 125 yards into the green. So it basically takes wedges away. You have 3 scoring holes, and that's it. Remember, last year they changed the 10th hole, which was a very difficult long par 4, into a reachable par 5. So now there's 3 par 5s. All 3 of those holes play under par. All other 15 play over. So, I mean, you've got to take advantage of the par 5s. It's known for breezy, gusty conditions. You got really tight fairways. Again, you got the hazards that just force players to lay up and, rather than challenge dog legs. And I do think that there's going to be an interesting field. We've seen in the past that the winners of this event typically have a miscut within a year or 2 of winning the event. And it kind of shows how volatile this course is because, you get a bad draw, say an early, late wave, whatever. It's just a difficult course to make the cut. However, looking back at my plays last year, I think I leaned too heavily into stats and not into success because if you look in this field, there is a lot of guys that have had a lot of repeatable success. Yes, they have a miscut here and there, but over and over again, you see them, top 10, top 20. Again, this has the most challenging set of par 3s and the 8th most difficult par 4s on the PGA Tour. So I really am looking at players that do well on par 3s and par 4s. You do need to eat on those par 5s. Yet 65% of approach shots come from 125 to 200 yards. And again, it's the toughest on tour for approach shots of 150 plus yards. It's all these things make this one of the toughest challenges year in and year out on the PGA Tour. So for this week, I'm looking at players who excel in windy conditions. They play this venue well. They play Florida/Bermuda courses well. They excel at ball striking, obviously, avoid big numbers due to their strength, and whether it be scrambling, strokes gained around the green, putting on Bermuda greens. And I'm looking at players that thrive from that 125 to 200-yard distance, again, from that 150-yard or more distance. And, we talk about this before, but it's the grinders, right? You want guys that just have an ability to get the most out of each and every round. And the fact that Russell Henley is the most expensive guy on DraftKings this week and has a unbelievable track record at this event just kind of proves that point. Comp courses, you can just look at any of the courses on the Florida swing. I look at Concession, Bay Hill, and Muirfield, other, Florida courses, a lot of hazard, very difficult. And then the key stats, strokes gained, approach, and ball striking, the proximity, again, from that 125 to 200 or even 200 plus for some of the shorter players. Bogey and double bogey avoidance, it's so key to not make big numbers. Strokes gained around the greens and putting on Bermuda conditions. Strokes gained total for difficult scoring conditions and Florida swing courses. And then course and comp course history. But this is definitely a week that you can take your shots because we have had some surprise winners here. And again, any guy can miss the cut if history, tells us that. I think it's 6 of the last 7 winners missed the cut either the year before or 2 years before winning the event.
No doubt. And this is a signature event too, right?
I'm sorry?
This is a signature event?
I don't think it is. But I'll have to double check that. We can check that during the break.
I got it right now. I'm pulling it up. For some reason, I thought it was. Maybe it is not. Just you would think how difficult the golf course is. That's why I thought it was. Oh, the next one's Bay Hill, Arnold Palmer. This one is not a signature event.
Yeah, it's the dumbest thing ever. I hate it. Just by saying that certain tournaments are signatures, to me it makes the other ones seem less important. And we already have majors, so we already have events that are huge. To me, the PGA Tour, I don't know what they're doing right now, but I said it, 2-3 years ago, and I'll keep saying how Jay Monahan continues to have that position with the mess that he's made to the professional game of golf and the biggest tour is just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll be getting Bryson DeChambeau back here pretty soon if the rumors that are floating around are true. That would certainly be a good move for the PGA Tour. One of the most popular guys out there right now, and obviously one of the biggest digital influencers when it comes to the game of golf, besides all those other influencers out there.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keith, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll dive into it, the official DraftKings lineup for the Cognizant Classic at Palm Beaches. Still getting used to that one. Honda Classic just had a lot simpler, easier ring to it. But you guys are listening to The Inside Drive. Keith Fleming on the line. You can follow him at Keith Fleming, KeithFleming, on the X or Twitter machine, whatever you would like to call it. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Hello, John.
This
John,
is ridiculous.
listen, I would not be making what you do.
They desecrate the national anthem and boo us.
Well, they did. That is a fact, and you know why. You know why. You know what their premise was.
We're not going to put up with here in this country anymore, Paul. Over and out.
Okay.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, and look for it to be 71. Tonight there will be a mixture of partly cloudy skies and slight fog with the temperature reaching 59. Slightly foggy in the morning, but otherwise some clouds tomorrow with a high of 69. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Live from the 19th hole.
I can't believe you're a professional golfer. I think you should be working at the snack bar.
It's the Inside Drive from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
The price is wrong.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Keith Fleming on the line with us now. It is Wednesday. It is after football season, but that doesn't stop us. We have golf season going on. A lot of people are about to get involved in fantasy baseball as well. And I know you can head over to fantasy6pack.net. That's got a lot of your articles, right, Keith? And a lot of other great information when it comes to fantasy sports.
Yeah, they do. It has all of my content for golf. Obviously, it's where you can find my football stuff. But we have some really great minds in the fantasy baseball space. If that is something that you do, you definitely need to check that out. Don't ask my advice in fantasy baseball. I'm awful at it. Not very good at DFS basketball either. And, I'm one of those people that keep to what you know. So that's why you really are talking about golf and football on the regular.
Yeah, no, fantasy DFS basketball on the NBA side has got to be one of the most challenging daily fantasy sports. It's just you have to just get it exactly perfect to seem like you win any money in that particular type of fantasy sports.
Yeah, there's too many guys that go off each week. It's really infuriating. I play it because, I'm a degenerate, and sometimes it's like, oh, I'll do an NBA lineup, why not? And I'll think, all my guys have the fire symbol next to it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm doing good. And then I'll, check back, and I'm not even in the money. Because, I mean, you basically have to score 300-plus points, it seems like, every week. For every, slate, especially if it's more than 2 to 4 teams playing.
Yeah, no doubt. But not golf. A little different story there. What? I know the magic number in football is what, 3 times the salary. What is it in golf? Is it about the same as that, or is there a kind of a magic number when it comes to golf?
Yeah, that is a great question that I should start keeping up with, because I know it's less than that, especially in events like this. If you do what I recommend, and it's why I stress it to people, do single entries, do double ups, do where there's only 1 entry, at the most like 3 entries from a user in contest, because in these tough events and fields and venues, you can have a guy miss the cut. I had it happen last week in the $33 single entry lineup I was in, and I still cashed. I still won $50 in that lineup, because so many people are going to have at least one guy miss the cut. And if you have, like I did, a couple of guys that were in the top 5, you can do enough to, still end up on the cash side. So highly recommend, again, the single entry, double ups. But this week, so for the official lineup, I'm starting it, and you're going to see a theme with these guys. They have a good track record here. They are ball strikers. They're guys that, grind again, get the most out of each round. And Daniel Berger is anchoring my official DraftKings lineup. He's 9,900. You can get him at 25 to 1 to win, plus 500 to top 5. Just an absolute elite player in Florida. Excels on Bermuda greens. You could call him Bermuda Berger, the way he puts
I like that.
on Bermuda greens. But he's got multiple runner-up finishes in his last 5 starts, so obviously he's in good form. I like seeing that. A big thing for me, you got to get the ball in the fairway on these tough golf courses, especially with water lurking everywhere. He's top 25 in both driving accuracy and strokes gained off the tee. He's 4th in strokes gained tee to green. He's 18th on all approaches over 100 yards. But his short game is what I really like. He's 9th in scrambling, 28th in strokes gained around the greens, and he avoids big numbers, which is a huge deal. He's 14th in bogey avoidance. And then he plays par 4s, which, again, remember, these are some of the toughest par 4s anywhere on tour. He is 8th in par 4 scoring, so he is a must for me. Next up in the lineup, Sepp Straka, Go Dogs, 9,400. He is 25 to 1 to win, plus 500 to top 5.
I really like him as a pick to win this week. He's been playing great golf this year, and he seems to excel on very, very difficult golf courses.
He is the ultimate ball striker. And what I like about it, and to your point, is he played really bad in his last PGA event, which was the Genesis. And before that, to your point, right, he had a win, he had a couple of top 5s. Like, he was playing great. So he had one bad start in the Genesis, which is one of those courses, you're just a little bit off. You can have a bad time, and that's what happened. Last year, he missed the cut in this event for the first time. But the previous 2 appearances, a win and a top 5. So, again, this kind of venue sets up perfect for him. I was talking about, again, the poor Genesis. Before that, he finished 15th or better in 5 of his previous 6 starts. Elite ball striker, top 20 in strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach, driving accuracy. He's top 20 in par 3, par 4, and par 5 scoring this season. 4th on approaches from 175 to 200. And something that's really different for him this year, he's 14th in bogey avoidance, which used to he made more bogeys. He's obviously reined that in. He's a lot better around the greens than he used to be. And then again, he's just such a good iron player. He's 6th in green and regulation percentage and 5th in proximity. I'd be shocked if he's not kind of in the mix on Sunday. And he's a great wind player. So the more the wind blows, it's even the better. The riskiest of the guys in my official DK lineup, Alex Smalley, 7,900. He's 45 to 1 to win, plus 400 to top 10. Look, I get it. If you watch the Mexico Open, he made 2 late bogeys and a double that cost me a awesome prop bet for him to top 5. But he still finished 10th. He's got 4 finishes of 21st or better in his last 5. He doesn't have a good track record here. He's missed the cut in both of his starts. But this course should set up well for him. I mean, he's 3rd in strokes gained tee to green, top 15 in driving accuracy, strokes gained off the tee. He's been really good scrambling around the greens, top 20 in both of those. And he's another one of these guys. He's top 30 in par 4 and par 5 scoring and top 15 in bogey avoidance. I think he's got a good chance to be kind of a surprise name in there. And I like him, even though I will admit his price was a little shocking to me, being $7,900, because like I can have Lucas Glover, who's also in the lineup at $7,800. He's 60-1 to win, plus 450 to top 10. You want to talk about a guy that just is tailor-made for this kind of golf course? It's Lucas Glover. Think about where he won his U.S. Open. Glover is the ultimate ball striker. He has 6 top 35 finishes in his last 7 starts here, ranks 4th in driving accuracy, so he's still one of the straightest drivers on tour, but also still one of the best iron players. He's 10th in total proximity on approaches, but he's been exceptional at maximizing his rounds because he's 26 in bogey avoidance and 19th in scrambling. He has 3 top 3 finishes and 7 top 30 finishes in his 11 starts this season. Lucas Glover is quietly kind of trending in that right direction. We saw this a couple of years ago where he got really hot, and I think that could happen again, especially at this venue. My favorite play this week, though, is Gary Woodland, 7,500. He is 55-1 to win, plus 900 to top 5, plus 450 to top 10. Remember, he overcame just 2 years ago something that you know all about, Ryan. Like, he had brain surgery. He had, a tumor that was found in his brain, and he kind of struggled a little bit last year, but no duh. I mean, you could imagine how hard it is coming back from something like that. All of a sudden, he's got 5 top 25 finishes in his last 8 starts. He's got 3 consecutive top 8 finishes at PGA National outside of the miscut last year, which, again, that was him just coming back from a traumatic ordeal. He's top 30 in strokes gained tee to green, off the tee, total proximity. He excels in that long iron range. He's 17th from 175 to 200, 9th from 200 plus yards. If he plays the par 5s well, which I expect him to, he's going to be in contention because he is top 30 in both par 4 and par 3 scoring this season. And then rounding out the official DK lineup is Bud Cauley, 7,300. He is 11-1 to top 5, 5-1 to top 10. He made the cut at this event 4 or 5 times he's played, and technically he never missed the cut. He withdrew the 1 year that he didn't. Finished 21st or better 2 of the last 3 starts at PGA National. He is striking the ball absurd this year. Top 25 in strokes gained tee to green off the tee. He's also doing well around the greens, 33rd strokes gained around the greens, 50th strokes gained putting. But what I really like, he ranks first in scrambling, putts inside 10 feet, and bogey avoidance this year. That sounds like PGA National to me. You got to make putts inside 10 feet. You got to get up and down and scramble, and you got to avoid making big numbers. So I really like Bud Cauley as well. 4 other real quick names. Russell Henley, go Dogs, 10-7. He's 25-1 to win. This is like his course. I mean, he has 6 straight cuts made at this venue with 2 top 10s in his last 3 starts.
At this course, there's no doubt.
He is another guy, very good par 4, par 3 scoring, very good from that 150, plus number. Minwoo Lee is a guy a lot of people are not talking about. I like him a lot, 9,200, 30-1. He finished 26 in his first start at PGA National 2 years ago, and then in the first start at PGA National, where they changed it from a par 70 to a par 71, he finished runner-up. He's an above-average ball striker. He's really improved around the green. He's 9th in strokes gained right now around the green. Being from Australia, obviously he isn't afraid of windy conditions, and I really like him on DK. He just doesn't miss cuts since he's turned pro on either tour. Ryan Gerard, 7,300, 75-1 to win, plus 280 to top 20. Finished top 5 in his only appearance here in 2023, coming off back-to-back top 20 finishes. Another one of these guys, he fits the bill, drives it well, 16th in total driving. He's a good iron player, 37th strokes gained approach. Great short game, 37th in scrambling, 29th in strokes gained putting, and he's 10th in par 4 scoring. Yet another guy. I know I sound like a broken record here, that if he plays the par 5s well, with how he plays par 4s and par 3s, I expect him to do well. And then for a really cheap play, I like Danny Willett, 6,400. He is 20-1 to top 10, 8-1 to top 20. He's slowly showing signs of returning to kind of his old glory days, at least in terms of ball striking. He's top 30 in strokes gained off the tee to green, but it's his irons that have me thinking Danny Willett may be back. He's 8th in proximity to the hole this year, 17th on approaches from 175 to 200, 9th on approaches of 200-plus yards, and stop me if you've heard me say this before, but he's top 45 in both par 3 and par 4 scoring. So if he does well on the par 5s this week, I think he could have a really strong week. But those are kind of the type of players I'm looking for. You want, again, guys that are not erratic. They make a lot of pars, just, ball strikers. Again, these grinders that just can get the most out of each and every round. If you go in that direction, I don't think you can go wrong this week.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I know he was a little repetitive, but it was for a reason. This golf course is just a very unique golf course when it comes to the way it's set up, the stretch of holes, the challenge of it. You've got to have guys that are really good from long distance with their irons, and you got to have guys that can make those 10-foot par putts consistently, because that's how you win these tournaments on these really difficult golf courses. It's the guys that can scramble. It's the guys that can make that clutch 12-foot par putt, that matters just as much as the tap-in birdie putt. And, a lot of these guys, you use the word grinder. I think that's a very important word when it comes to these particular tournaments and how challenging they are. And those are the guys that you need to be. Those grinders are typically consistent when it comes to different difficult golf courses, and you need those consistent players to score well in DFS golf. Because fair to say, if you have a lineup that everybody makes the cut, you'll likely cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, single entry for sure.
Yeah.
Multi-entry, again, most times, yes. But it's not definite, because if you say had 6 make the cut and none of them, though, are in that top 5, that's when it gets a little fishy. But in a single entry, for sure, you have all 6 make the cut, you're going to definitely cash.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And Keith, where can they go to check out more of your information, a little more in-depth look at everything going on each week?
I am still located on the Twitter/X at Keith Fleming. That's KEITHFLEMMING. If you go to fantasy6pack.net or the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel, you subscribe to that, you'll see a lot of my work and stuff on there. And at fantasy6pack.net, we do have a Discord where not everything in there is free, but the DFS and golf stuff is. So sign up for it. Come chat with us. We nerd out about golf every week in the Discord channel. Obviously do the same for football. There's all kinds of great tools. They have a membership that'll give you full exclusive access. It's worth the time to check out, and that's at fantasy6pack.net.
There you go. There you go. I'm learning about this Discord stuff myself. It's basically like a forum with topics, it seems like, where you can ask questions, and you guys are great about responding to questions, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of starting to dive in, and then also looking forward to getting going with you here pretty soon on the golf show as well for Fantasy Six Pack, breaking down.
I am very excited about that, buddy. We're going to have some fun, and it's not just going to be DFS and betting, but really us just talking stuff about the game of golf.
Yeah, no doubt, because there's a lot more than just what they're doing out there. That is for sure. And we've played a lot of these particular golf courses. Have been watching golf for as long as we've been up and at them, and looking forward to getting that going here. Hopefully in a couple weeks. I'm learning that I might need to put a little pad on my headphones here just to give it a little bit of a. It's got a big pad on there right now, but just I'm not quite ready. I might try to figure out something before tomorrow's show, but once I get that figured out, Keith, we should be able to get going here pretty quick.
Well, don't rush. Extra padding is always good. I am somebody that lives for comfort, so you need to make sure you are comfortable and ready, but I can't wait to have you join me, man.
No doubt. I'm very much looking forward to that, and you'll be able to find that as well on the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go. Everything out there on the YouTube channel. How about your dogs with a big victory in basketball yesterday over those Florida Gators?
Just when I was out on the season, they had lost, I think, 4 in a row.
Yeah.
To actually, some of the teams in SC that were not as strong were playing Florida, who's, arguably the best team in the country. And then, they go and win. So I'm like, I guess I got to watch now, because if they can pull a few victories. I'm more excited for you. My buddy John Hall is a huge Auburn fan. And it's been really weird seeing it flip to where, they had all the success in football, and then obviously now Georgia's having it. And I really have felt bad for him, because he's just he's a shell of himself. When you're a Falcons and an Auburn fan, it's tough, right now in football. And he is very excited about this basketball team. He thinks it's the best Auburn team by far yet that has a chance to win the national title. And what's your best player's name? He's
Janai Broome.
Unstoppable. Yeah, now that he's back, you guys are going to be really tough to beat, I think.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation with Brad Law back in our 11:20 segment talking about this particular basketball team and the chances to do something that no other Auburn basketball team has ever done in school history. And we'll have the game tonight against Ole Miss right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, right after the afternoon underdogs tip off at 6 p.m. Keith, we appreciate appreciate you as always, and looking forward to talking to you next week. Maybe Jay will stay for the whole show next Wednesday. Don't hold your breath.
I'm not betting on it.
Yeah,
I'm not betting on it.
It's probably like plus 1,100 right now if we were to put a money line on it. But appreciate you jumping on. Appreciate the support as always, and looking forward to getting that golf show going with you for Fantasy Six Pack.
Yeah, we'll have to share another bottle Coke here soon, buddy.
Yeah.
Have a good one. David, take care, buddy.
All right. Thank you,
brother.
Keith. All right, you guys listen to The Inside Drive. Our final segment coming up next.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Discover Kia at Billburn Kia during the President's Day sale going on all month long. Are you looking for a fuel-efficient SUV that doesn't compromise on style, comfort, and performance? Stop in today at Billburn Kia and let our team put you behind the wheel of your new Kia. Billburn Kia is now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. Billburn Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBurnKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $1,748 per month per 1,000 finance in 60 months. Qualities limited, cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billburn Kia warranty. See dealer for complete detail. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/3/25.
Spreads, picks, and parlays. Get the breaking news, insider angles, and expertise so you can run your game.
I told y'all to run that.
And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey, broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Buick GMC, and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Breaking news. That sounds like a news intro.
It's called Football Fan Fever.
FFF. Triple F. That's right. Sounds good. But you guys are listening to The Inside Drive. Glad to be back today. Hanging out with David Hayes here in studio. Just had Keith Fleming on the line. Jay is back on the lesson tee for today. Just a quick update. I'm gonna wait to talk about basketball until tomorrow. We'll have Chris Fall in studio giving us the update on the middle school basketball action that transpired since we've been gone, and updating on standings as their playoffs get underway starting tomorrow. But on the girls middle school soccer side of things, we had some games that took place yesterday. That would have been the 26th, which is don't have a score.
Today is the 26th.
Sorry, the 25th. Mowat and Jenks played against each other. Don't have a score reported for that one. North Bayhaven and Bayhaven don't have a score for that one. Palm Bay beat Breakfast Point Academy 1-0. Surfside beat Rutherford 8-0. University Academy finished their last home game of the season, winning 8-0 in that one against Tyndall Academy. Merritt Brown had a bye. There are a few games coming up tomorrow. You've got Surfside will be taking on Tyndall Academy. Palm Bay will be taking on Rutherford. North Bayhaven against Breakfast Point. That'll be at Gavilac Stadium. Mowat will be taking on Bayhaven. Merritt Brown will be traveling to Jenks. And University Academy does indeed have a bye. And then the current standings in middle school girls soccer: University Academy 9-0, Bayhaven 6-1, Surfside 6-2, Mowat 5-2, North Bay Haven 4-3, Breakfast Point 4-4, Jenks 3-4, Palm Bay 3-5, Tyndall 2-7, Rutherford 1-7, and Merritt Brown 0-8. Playoffs get underway not Tuesday, but a week from Thursday. They'll take the top 8 seeds there, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And again, Chris Fall will be joining us tomorrow to give us the update on boys middle school basketball. I will mention University Academy did have a huge overtime upset victory yesterday against Rutherford, 49-47. So kudos to University Academy. It was rocking in the gym after the girls' soccer game there yesterday afternoon/evening. David, did want to ask you about, you're kind of a hockey guy. You like hockey like I do. Obviously, you've followed the Lightning for a while now. And what did you think of the 4? I didn't get a chance to ask you when we were talking about it earlier in the show, and obviously Jay didn't really have an opinion on it. So wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on the 4 nations face-off and what all transpired.
And that would have been one of the tournaments you'd like to think that Jay could invest in a little bit, especially with it being 4 country. I always love international hockey. I think anytime that we have the opportunity to talk about it, I don't watch as much of the IIHF tournaments during the summer and whatnot, but this one was, an inaugural tournament taking place of the All-Star break, and we got to break down the rosters before, and we thought one of the big things was going to be Sweden's goaltending, which did kind of take them a little bit further. I mean, they ended up getting a win, right? Their final game against the USA. But I think that it was perfect timing because of, I hate to say this, but the political climate, what's going on between the countries.
Added a little extra fire in there.
Exactly, and you had the Canadians booing the national anthem, which... Again, is it the classiest of things to do? No, but it's just something that happens in sports venues, which did end up amping it up a little bit. I think that there would have been fights regardless of the national anthem boos. I think a lot of those, these guys have never played each other best on best in a long time, and the guys who were on the American team back in 2010 they're not on the team anymore. So they have played against the other Canadian teams and the junior hockey and all of that good stuff, but to see it here at this level with NHL rules, I think was the most amazing part of it all. I think that it provided a huge spark to the game of hockey. I don't think that everyone's like, man, this is what the NBA and other leagues should copy what the NHL is doing. And the problem is if the fights don't happen, then there's no spark in that conversation.
And the fights really led to the narrative.
Exactly. And that's not what it's a part of hockey, but that's not what hockey's about. Kind of what you were saying earlier when you said I went to a game or I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. And look, there's aspects of that, and that's a beautiful part of the game and hopefully a part of the game that never goes away. But it's not the reason that was the reason that everyone was kind of jumping on the coattails of hockey, which, hey, anything to provide a positive for the game, I'm all for it. But then I think that it got people to watching the sport, and it's a little easier to follow these days, especially which player has the puck and all of that good stuff. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. It was, Alabama, Auburn were playing on the same day, so about, from 2 to 5, and then watching that game, and then after that, it was just nothing but waiting for Canada and USA, and it did not disappoint. And then for them to get back to the championship game, hey, if Austin Matthews would have played better hockey down the final, let's say, 27 minutes, I think USA wins that game, man. And really, if he's just sitting there with Connor McDavid in the slot instead of letting him get a wide open shot, you just can't do that. Best player in the world right now.
Yeah, no doubt. They left him sit there wide open between the hash marks and the circles, and he's going to bury that one 9 times out of 10, and that one time might just flub off his stick. But, and USA had so many chances right before that happened, too. But just always fun to watch that kind of level of hockey. What you were saying, the NBA needs to change their form. You can't match what that was. Hockey is such a different sport compared compared to NBA. And yeah, you can have international matchups and all that stuff, which they do in the Olympics and the FIBA tournaments and stuff like that. But it's just so different sport. And, you know, could they use that to maybe look at doing something a little different where it matters more? I don't know. That's a whole.
It's got to matter to the players for it to matter more.
Yeah,
That's exactly where the disconnect is they're sitting there watching the All-Star game, watching the All-Star competitions for that matter. And, you know, why should the consumer care if the people who they're consuming aren't caring?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I talked to Jay about this, but he's not here, so you're up next. We are 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but 2 races complete in the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah.
I guess the Am Better Health 400 took place
Right over there in Atlanta,
up there in Hotlanta, where, not too far where we were this past weekend. Well, actually, we came back on Saturday, so we were back before this one got underway. But looks like Christopher Bell got the win in that one, and I'm sure you've already had RJ on your show as he's on Mondays?
Mondays, 420, yep.
Yeah, kind of recapping all that stuff. But, yeah, and I guess the next race coming up is the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix. Is that a road race?
Yeah, it's going to be over there at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. So, yeah, first road race of the year. We've had 2 super speedways in Daytona and Atlanta. William Byron going back-to-back at Daytona, very impressive. Christopher Bell just kind of outlasting Kyle Larson and getting the benefit of the inconsistent cautions. That's kind of been the big storyline so far of the 2025 NASCAR year is that NASCAR can't figure out when's the right time to drop the yellow and when's the wrong time. And I feel like if you're someone who's not invested into the sport as much as what, you know, their day one, their core fans, their main demographic is, and you're sitting there and watching the race and you're wondering, why is this ending like this? Now, maybe for some race fans it makes a lot more sense, but to me, it's like we should be racing till you get to the checkered flag. If that wreck back there is not going to complicate the next lap, then just get it done. Actually, it makes it more fun that they got to dodge the wrecked cars on the track, right?
Yeah, adds a little extra excitement there trying to get around. But yeah, that's there's a lot of little things that you know, if you're not, like you said, the core group of race fans, you may not understand exactly what's going on when stuff like that happens at the end of a race. And you know, that's why you need to tune into the Afternoon Underdogs Mondays at 420. Listen to Go Around the Track with R.J. Starkovich, if I pronounce that correctly.
I think it's Starcevic, but I might be saying it wrong all the time. So just go follow Motor Stardom on Instagram. And you can also check out his articles. He's been dropping them on ESPNPC.com.
There you go. Keeping you up to date on all your motor racing action. Nominations for the Best of Bay are back out.
Really?
Yeah. It's that time again.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Feels like that just ended.
No, I think it was last May when it finally, like, the finals, because it starts with nominations and then it's whoever gets nominated, then you vote.
Gotcha.
And then they release the winners.
Gotcha.
But yeah, nominations are, so if you would do us a solid and nominate not obviously just the Inside Drive here, but also the Afternoon Underdogs, Coach James Hale Show. We're going to try to get the sweep this year. I know we had the Inside Drive and had TV personality too, which I guess is kind of...
If you consider Facebook TV, that's the world that we live in, right?
That's
Streaming.
If
they're looking at you on a screen, that's TV.
All right. Television. Tommy TV from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
I don't remember.
The cowboy? I know Violet Beauregard was the blueberry. I don't know if it was Tommy TV.
Charlie. I remember Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's fair. I hope you remember that one. But yeah, no, I think it was Tommy TV.
Tommy TV.
I think so. He had the little plastic guns and he'd be shooting at the TV. He was a little cowboy. I'm thinking of the original one anyway.
I don't think I've watched the new one. That's the one with Johnny Depp in it, right? That's I haven't watched that one. But I did watch the original one.
And there's another one that came out that was about like the Oompa Loompas, I think.
Oh, man.
That's more recent, I believe. Don't quote me on
Were you a kid when Charlie? Yeah. You were. So were you ever like like freaked out by the Oompa Loompas? No?
No.
I don't know. And the Blueberry Girl, that was always weird
Violet,
too. Yeah.
She got what was coming to her, though.
Yeah, exactly, man. Karma got her quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yep. And they rolled her right out of there. They got the flute going, and she was gone.
Oompa Loompa, Oompa-dee. Oh, man.
Classics. Classic. But yeah, that movie was scary for a lot of folk. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. What was that? Oompa. How do you spell Oompa?
OOMPA.
OOMPA. It's like Keith Fleming.
LUMPA, I'm assuming? Oompa Loompa, or would it be?
Oh, it's called Wonka. The
Wonka.
2023 film. That was the one that was specifically...
So that's just about the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, kind of like their origination story.
Like fat gingerbread men.
Yeah, they had jaundice.
Yeah.
And, jaundice is...
Citricitis.
Yeah, citricitis, yeah. They too much spray tan for the Oompa Loompas there. But, yeah, there's been several of those. Charlie the Chocolate Factory... Or 1971 was Willy Wonka and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And then 2005 was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where you had Johnny Depp. And then Wonka was 2023.
I need to make a Spanish movie called Charlito and the Chancla Factory.
Coco Factory.
No, chancla, like the sandals that the parents use as whipping tools.
Gotcha. Interesting stuff. I don't think is Bay still rocking in basketball? I haven't been keeping.
No,
okay.
Basketball for our teams are pretty much
done at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe you might have Holmes County still battling there. I know that we had South Walton and boys and girls soccer fall in their state championship games, I believe. You had Rutherford fall to bowl, so another year falling in the Elite Eight. So tough there, but hey, Coach Davis is going to get them right back in the thick of things for next year. Obviously, Arnold, state champs. And then baseball. Right now, baseball, I think weightlifting is kind of starting to wrap up. Track and field's getting ready to go. And baseball and softball, man, we've got some big-time games.
Yeah, I know Arnold is off to a good start this season as well.
5-1. Yeah. Cooper and Eli, I believe they played Monday night. Cooper and Eli both hit a home run in that game, which I believe I saw Steve Moss share something that, on that day, 13 years prior to that or whatever, in like a little league game, they both went yard in the same game. So pretty cool stuff.
That is neat, kind of seeing them grow up together and now having so much success together is some cool stuff. That is for sure.
And then they're gonna get to go play at the next level. Yeah. And it's one thing going to you're going to college, but you're going to Florida, like a premier baseball university. It's great stuff.
Absolutely, and we'll continue to follow those stories with a lot of our other youngsters in the area and continue to go up. Got another good show lined up for you guys tomorrow. We'll kind of get back on regular schedule. Chris Fall will be in studio at 11:20 to update you on all the middle school basketball action, including the playoff bracket, which gets underway tomorrow. And then we hope to have Doc A jumping back on, getting us updated with all the NBA action at 12:20. And again, on Friday, we'll have Coach Jonah Hammond. He'll be on the phone with us at 11:20 to talk about his back-to-back state championships for the Arnold boys soccer team. And, of course, Aaron Bearden will be back as well. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m., followed by the Auburn Tigers versus the Ole Miss Rebels right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the home. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, and look for it to be 71. Tonight, there will be a mixture of partly cloudy skies and slight fog with the temperature reaching 59. Slightly foggy in the morning, but otherwise some clouds tomorrow with a high of 69. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call